This is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. I'm going to skip over all that other energy because you already know, as I said, art is occultism. Occultism is a motherfucking art. Of course, so go to the Weird Renegade website, Weird Renegade Witches Blog. However, I have some energies for you. I just wanted to quickly talk about some frequencies because you know I'm going to talk about Hollywood. You already know. But I wanted, the spirit said to shoot and give a shout out to some ancestors. I said, with all the shit going on with Hollywood, where do I go? What do I do? What is the energies? What the fuck is going on, right? And my black ass go tap into Ricky Ricardo because you know I'm schizophrenic, right? Because you know they say we are schizophrenic, okay? And I said, Ricky Ricardo, what the fuck is going on? He said, talk to Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball said, Hollywood is dead. It is killed. It is murdered. It is massacred. It is no more. Ricky Ricardo said, talk to the orishas. You know who you are, right? Because you know I'm schizophrenic, but just play along with me because you know I'm a Cancer. So Ricky Ricardo said, talk to the orishas. So I went to talk to the orishas. And Ricky Ricardo said, talk to Oya, Chango, and Arula. Because you already know that Cuban, what he was into, right? And I said, Oya, what's going on? You know I don't talk to you orishas. You know I sat up and said that I denounce you. And then Arula popped up and said, you would never denounce us because we were always with you. And you always know that I'm going to come knocking at the door. This is above y'all pay grade. Y'all like, this bitch crazy. But it's above y'all pay grade. I said, okay. I said, oh yeah, what's going on? She said the devil is a liar. I said, Shango, what's going on? Gas, electricity, and lasers. I said, Orula, what's going on? I'm knocking at your door. Speak to Agaju. And you know I'm pronouncing it wrong because Arula said, look at, and I'm pronouncing it wrong, y'all, because you know me with how I pronounce in pronunciation, Aganju. Then you can understand what's going on in Southern California, right? So the spirit said, drink for the ancestors of Hollywood. Drink in San Francisco, the martinis. Drink in New York, Cosmos. Drink in Los Angeles, the Hound Dog. Vodka and grapefruit juice. And I've been having some of my spiritual constituents on that shit. As they say, the diet drink. Not telling you what to do. We just talking spirit, right? So then the spirit said, you need to start acknowledging your ancestors who are in the industry. Your brother, Eric Tiger, who was in the music industry. Your mom, Helen, that was in the music industry, who was in the gospel, who wanted to get into so much. Eric Lawless, who was working in studio film and whatsoever. Eric Lawless. My aunt, motherfucking Julia, who was a maid for some of these fucking old school entertainers, who told me about all of the entertainers and what the fuck they was going through, and your famous Dorothy Dandridge. My aunt Julia, who was so nosy, who was looking at a star fight at the hotel, who got caught up in the paddy wagon and had to walk home in her heels. right? We up here tripping on a health. That's a fucking distraction. Health insurance? That's a fucking distraction. We up here distracted with fucking Luigi, and the real motherfuckers that we should be watching is Allstate and all the rest of these motherfuckers who canceled fire insurance. This is above your pay grade. I wanted to start off like this. I don't know what the fuck I'm in. I'm from the fucking Bay Area. And my cousin hit me up from the fucking Bay Area because I'm in Southern California, bitch. And she said, bitch, you good? I said, I'm in a fucking hurricane and I don't know what the fuck is going on. I said, do I need to buy a ticket back to the Bay? I'm not for hurricanes. I'm fucking for earthquakes. I don't know what a hurricane is. I never been in no shit. She said, what are you talking about? Are you okay? I said, I'm not okay. Because I've never been in a hurricane. I just been in earthquakes. Let that digest. We had the Golden Globe, I guess, awards. Who stood out to me was that Zoe, what's her name, Salada, whatever. And her speech stood out to me because she said, I'm dyslexic. And when she becomes anxious, she forgets. I said, well, damn, that sounds about right. I read the comments, and there was a motherfucker who contributed when she was talking about her symptoms of dyslexia. He was trying to tell her what dyslexia is. Then he tapped into retardation. I said, people with dyslexia are not fucking retarded. What the fuck is his? I said, oh, this is a third world motherfucker. I forgot about them. They don't understand what that is, right? And remember in my last video, I talked about dyslexia also being connected to trauma. And I said, oh, when I was listening to her speech, I said, oh, she works in short-term memory and not long-term memory. And when you work in your short-term memory, anything, especially with dyslexic, can make you forget. Literally. You could be over here doing this and turn around and do this. That's the short-term memory. It even connects into writing and so on. If you stress a person who's dyslexic, they can write googly goo. But if you don't stress them, they're cool. Because trauma, dyslexia is connected to trauma. Because dyslexics become anxious. That's above y'all pay grade, so we're not gonna get into that. But then I started tripping. I said, damn, I don't know what she won a Golden Globe for, but how come she never won for Avatar? And the Golden Globe is the last hoodoo for real stars, but the real stars are dead. That means Hollywood is dead. There are no more real stars because they either died off or they killed them. So there's no more star power. It's just a whole bunch of third world energy that is now tapping into Hollywood. It makes me think about Swiss Beats and him being connected to that fucking embezzlement shit of 7 mil. And they were talking about how how that all came about allegedly. And it all allegedly came about because some third world motherfuckers allegedly from Malaysia got him caught up in some shit because they wanted to be stars. So we have third world people looking at entertainment and wanting to be, paying motherfuckers to be, and now them same motherfuckers who got paid are now caught up in embezzlement, fraud, federal shit. All because a third world motherfucker wanted to be a star. Allegedly. This is the alleged story with Swiss Beats. Right? And it made me think like, damn, what the fuck is going on, right? So you know, and I never mentioned this, that I live in Southern California. I moved from the Bay to Southern California. And again, my cousin hit me up. And everybody been hitting me up like, are you okay? I said, I'm not where the fires is. I'm just where the hurricane is. And they said, hurricane. I said, hurricane. Then I started thinking about E40, hurricane, but you could call me slow. Then I started, oh shit, I'm tripping. Okay. Anyway, I went to the left and to the right. Okay, I'm back. That's why I said I had to put on my fucking apocalypse wig, bitch. And again, my cousin was like, bitch, are you good? And I said, I don't know. Because something not right. And I'm not feeling it. I had somebody in my comments need to point out other occultists, I guess, allegedly having the background. I don't give a fuck. You read it the way you read it. If other occultists have this fucking background, cool. Because I need to look at my background since I talk about tarot. So let's read some tarot right now since y'all want to read tarot. Upside down, you notice in my videos, I've been having this upside down. That's because it's spirit, because California is upside down. What is down is what is up, and what is up is what is down. And the wheel of fortune is down. The fortune is down. Everything is upside down. So that means the prediction, as we want to call it, as you guys been seeing, everything is upside down. It predicted California is upside down. Bitch. Then my cousin was like, what you gonna do? And I was like, well, maybe I need to come back to the Bay Area for a moment. It depends. I said, because it's just not right. Let's start off with some shit, okay? Here's my issue. "9/11 killed government. Katrina killed spirit. California fires in Southern California where there's motherfucking wealth killed the wealth. As much as you motherfuckers out there being a fucking hater, with California, every state and city has an energy. Southern California have so much motherfucking wealth, more than the Bay Area. Bay Area has this energy. Southern California has this energy. Once you tap into California's wealth, especially Southern California's wealth, that means every other state and global entity is dead. And they done came into it in threes. This is above y'all pay grade. This bitch don't know what she talking about. You better understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Rather you playing Satan bring the devil down or whatever with Shirley Caesar, you better understand your pockets are impoverished right now. If they didn't fucked around and played games in Southern California and intentionally burnt down wealth, that affects the rest of the world. Just like 9/11 in New Orleans. New Orleans was the spirit. 9/11 was the government. And now we fucking with your money in your pockets. I'm a Cancer. You don't fuck with our pockets. I don't play them games. I choose not to be under apocalypse poverty. Okay? And I read people talk about, yeah, they bringing them down. You hater ass motherfuckers. America is voodoo and Christianity. They wiped that all out during that Katrina shit. You have other countries, third world countries coming in preying on America for it to fail. And some of you motherfuckers are so indignant, you will say, yeah, fuck America. They did this, they did that. I got you. But black people, your elders never said fuck America. They worked in America and gained their wealth, regardless of the adversarial energies that's going on. Y'all want to holler, Oklahoma, they did this, they did that. But our ancestors worked through all of that and gained their wealth and prosperity. And businesses and small businesses and wealth. What the fuck are you talking about? You not seeing the shit? This is a time for prayer wars, but you don't got it because you killed the church. Right? It's above y'all pay grade. You're not realizing that fire killed small businesses. People's wealth. Landmarks. Historical businesses. Historical landmarks. There's no use of you coming here, ain't shit here. They burned it. And all they're going to do is have third world motherfuckers or whoever come in, buy up that property. I have 2 clients that lost their properties. We're going to get to that. They talk about Pasadena, how they burnt the fuck out of Pasadena, but you don't understand. There's so many landmarks, but I find it suspicious. The Rose Bowl was going on at the time of the fucking New Orleans massacre, the terror attack. And they had the audacity to talk about if you want to look at the Rose Bowl, click onto the QR code. What the fuck is that? Killing energies. Do you know that a lot of the neighborhoods and these movies that you look at and all of that, do you know them neighborhoods are burnt down now? Where you looked at some of your movies, some of them houses, and you entertained, do you understand those are burned? People have lost shit. They've lost their awards. They've lost their life. They've lost their frequency. They lost everything. Do you understand it killed the old school people who are still alive? It killed their whole life. But you too much of a hater to see it, that it kills wealth. Right? And you're like, well, why is Wayward pressed? I'm pressed because of what I just told you about the ancestors. But I'm pressed because I'm in an energy where there was a fucking hurricane and I didn't understand, why is everything blowing? Why is the house shaking? Why are the fucking palm trees ready to kill over? Why is it the next day, the next 2 days, I'm with my spiritual constituents and showing her on video how trees have uprooted, how trees are everywhere, how fucking some of my other spiritual constituents, I'm showing them how fucking signs have fucking failed. This shit. And you heard what I said. I said hurricane. This was not no regular fucking Santa Ana. Santa Ana winds. This was a fucking hurricane. I'm pressed because my spiritual constituents said they intentionally blocked the roads with fucking abandoned cars like it was a fucking movie set. They couldn't move because some old cars, my people drive Mercedes and shit. And they said they didn't understand what the fuck was going on. So when you see tow trucks uprooting old vehicles, those are for real old vehicles allegedly that they put in place in the road to block motherfuckers so they couldn't leave the areas. People were in disbelief of how this started. They caught on video people kids throwing out gas cans. What the fuck? Why are you throwing out gas cans? And some of you simpletons will say, oh, because they didn't. My spiritual constituents said it was not a regular fire. They said it was like somebody took a tank of gas. And it was so black and it was rolling fast. And they said they seen lasers hitting, like something hitting the trees, hitting the earth. I said, damn, that goes back to Chango. They said they were intentionally burned out. One of them told me that yes, it is true that their fire insurance was canceled out way back. Last year. One of them said that their insurance was fucking canceled in October of 2024 for no reason. And they have been going back and forth with them like, what the fuck? Some other people I spoke to said that their parents and their elders' fire insurance was canceled. Doesn't that sound suspicious? That they was out here canceling allegedly elders' fire insurance so they can't fucking rebuild? Do you understand how wicked fire is? I told you guys. And I told you this last year. It is the war of the world. It is fire against water. What have you heard? They went and shut down the main energies of water. They have been talking about that some of the firefighters and police department is in a part of the act of not saving people's houses. The reason why everything is burning because the fire department is really not helping people. So when you see on social media that black woman talking in Pasadena saying Compton Fire Department came in and stepped in, she's telling the truth. It's not the fact that the fires can't be contained. It's the fact that it is intentionally not trying to be contained. Allegedly. And some of you simpletons will say, well, Hollywood needs to burn. You want your pockets to burn, bitch? You better understand the tactics. You better understand the real nature. You better understand if you don't have fire insurance and you can't really afford to rebuild, then who comes in and buy the properties? Hawaii. Similar to Hawaii. The Carolinas. Attacking the elders, shit like that. Who comes in? Isn't it very interesting that Trump is talking about Canada, the 51st state? And what people are in freaking Canada? Because you already know Paris is a whole hack. You know those aren't the original people. You know, technically the French came from Canada that tapped into Louisiana and shit like that, but that's above y'all pay grade. So we're out here in America and the world watching Hollywood, as you guys call it, Southern California, burn the fuck down, but you're not understanding the frequencies. But you know what's very interesting? Everywhere these Mexican Indians sat up and did work and rituals, how come it's always fucked up? I'm not being rude. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not disrespecting anyone's culture. I'm just pointing out something. In San Francisco in 2016, I remember when the Mexican Indians came in front of City Hall and did a whole powwow. From that day forward, shit shut down, niggas broke, things fucked up. San Francisco went down in hell. During George Floyd energy and the alleged Black Lives Matter, did we forget how in Southern California, in Los Angeles, how the Mexicans, Indians, and Mexicans were running around, hiding their faces, writing and tagging up walls and shit, and led a whole press and led a whole march in those particular hills where the fires were, talking about eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich. Did we forget about that? And some of you silly niggas was going for that bullshit. I'm suspicious. And I think it to a further notice, and I'm not being rude, I think Mexican Indians need to sit it down for a moment, because I need to figure some shit out. I need to understand, why is it wherever you guys go, there's detriment in hell? And some of you simpletons will say, well, no, that's because of their ancestors. No. Then in that case, then we need to bring the Louisiana real Indians in and do some real motherfucking work, because they the real fucking Indians, not these Mexican Indians who are pretending to be Aztec, Mayans, and Incas. Allegedly. I'm not being rude. I'm not being rude. I'm being truthful. These are hybrids. And how come wherever they go, there's trauma and detriment? I'm talking spirit. I'm not talking practical shit. I'm talking for real spirit here. Wherever the Mexican Indians go, there's always something that jump off, and it's not for the positive. But yet, when we had Christianity and voodoo and prayer warriors, shit always settled. It cleared up. And when I'm talking Mexican Indians, I'm not talking about the reservation. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these ones who believe that they come from out of the scopes of Mexico. So you have this, then you have Middle Easterns and all these Russian cultures. Who's coming in to buy that land? Russia? Ukraine? India? Who's coming in? Who in the fuck bought up Hawaii and the rest of these places? Who's buying up America? Who would come in and desperately kill landmarks and historical places? That's why I was trying to tell you with that weird shit that was happening in San Francisco and Japantown, how they cut the blossom trees. Who would do that? Wow, who would go into Japantown and cut the blossom trees? Who would go into different cities and states and tag on murals in black cities and neighborhoods? Who in the fuck in Oakland vandalized Huey Newton's bus? Who went into 3rd Street, painted over all of the murals and artwork, and put that frilly frally shit in San Francisco? Who? Maybe the reason why in San Francisco in the Mission you really haven't been really stable and holding on to anything, and they've been setting fire to everything, is because you got the wrong Indians doing the work. It's government. I just told you over here 9/11 was government. People out here so simply talk about, oh, they want to now change the Southern California into smart cities. It's more than smart cities. They want to change it. They want to change California into Little Hindi in Russia. That's why I said Southern California was black. I'm literally in a fucking hurricane from Monday, Tuesday, and some of fucking Wednesday. My fucking son is telling me on Tuesday he goes to Santa Ana. He said the wind was so abnormally strong, it pushed him over and he fell. He fell on the ground. He said he couldn't get back up. He said every time he tried to get back up, he said the wind kept pushing him down. And he said then all of a sudden he could feel his legs uplifting themselves and pull. He said the wind was pulling him down the street. He said a woman saw it and ran out of her business and then grabbed his hand, and she had to hold on to a car door because it was pulling her, because she trying to save my son. And he said his clothes fell out of his bag and it flew up in the universe. And he said finally with her holding on to him, he got back up. I said, what the fuck? And he said where he was at, the doors usually when the wind blows, the doors open inward. No, he said literally the wind was blowing the doors open outward and then cracked the glass. That's a hurricane. And I said, damn. I said, isn't there something going like in Santa Ana in the mountains? And the demons speak, because when I was listening to the wind, I could hear voices. It was demonic. Yeah, call me schizophrenic, but goddamn it, it's true. I said, what the fuck am I hearing? I said, what the fuck is going on? I said, oh no, I'm not for this shit. They playing with weather. I'm looking in the fucking hills of Southern California. There's no snow. There's no ice. Because there haven't been any rain. What the fuck? Airplanes, what is it, crossing, going back and forth? Some heavy cloud. What the fuck? Sickness. What? And I'm just talking about the wind. I said, God damn it, Libra, Aquarius. I had time for Libra. If you want to talk horoscope, I don't got time for Libra, because the fires are under fucking Aries. I told you what it is. They shut down water so they can burn these people out. This is not a situation of revenge and redemption responsibility. This is a takeover of America. And money and poverty. Mental. I'm just talking about the winds. I'm just talking about how you looking at palm trees literally ready to fall the fuck over and uproot itself. And have. If not date trees. Do you understand palm trees? Depending, especially dates, that comes from, that's melanated. Do you understand you are seeing trees burning in fucking Los Angeles? Who you burning? Black people? They brought them seeds and all that shit from allegedly from Africa, but we not understanding Los Angeles is Africa. It's above y'all pay grade. Y'all like, this bitch crazy stuff. No, I'm telling you truth. That's why in Southern California you see a lot of Italian and fucking African energies here, as you guys call African. Because Los Angeles was Africa. Mexico was Africa. Even though that's not his original name. We don't know what the fuck is going on in this universe. Southern California is the home of the dates. You don't get? It's their last effort to kill off melanin. To kill off money and create poverty living. My clients are in detriment right now and can't believe, in disbelief. Oh, where'd you find this at? Oh, thank you. Huh? What happened? I can hear you. Lip balm? Oh, I didn't buy it yet, but here. No, here, you can use this. Here, use this. It's lip balm. It's just, make sure it's mixed in onto your lips. When I seen Malibu and all of that fucked up, I said, oh my God. Santa Monica, Pasadena, I said, oh my God. I had to call on God. And not of the man, of the woman. I said, did they just do that? Did they just burn down Pasadena? Just about. Did they just Santa Monica? Malibu. Did they just do that? My clients don't even know what to do with themselves. When we initially talked about this, I told them, I said, watch out. Watch out. They were already in fear due to the shutdown, due to this alleged pandemic, due to the writer's strike, due to all of that. They was already. And they were telling me just yesterday, they said they don't understand. People were already out here struggling. I was so amazed when I just seen old Hollywood motherfuckers. I haven't heard. You got to be boomers and Generation Next to understand. I said, damn, I haven't seen him in years. We sitting up here watching fucking news people in the fucking mist. I was like, oh my God, why are horses left? People even saying that they had to set their horses free. Animals. Then they have crisis actors pretending. You have this news person admitting it looked like a Hollywood set. My people have family, so they went to go live with their family, but they lost their shit. And some of them, and one of my spiritual constituents saying, they also trying to get rid of evidence. They were saying to me, they just trying to have these people buy up our property. But they seen what they seen and they know what they know. Some of you people out here need to really stop being real simpletons and look at how they work in America and in Pacific states. They, and now with a P bitch, they fucking around with your livelihood. Everything has an energy. So I'm like, damn, I'm in a hurricane, then the fire's happening here. Like I said, there was no fucking Santa Ana and winds. Stop playing with me. That thing was detrimental. That's what my cousin was like. What you gonna do? What's going on? I'm like, And then they talk about first responders. What the fuck is a first responder? We're not gonna go back to no fucking first responders. It is called police and fire department. Don't try to create firefighters like 9/11. In the next 5 years, if not earlier, it's going to be a whole movie about that shit. And you're going to have motherfuckers up here playing stars who are running for their lives. When I seen them what's the name of them allegedly from Laguna Beach and allegedly lost their house, I said, damn, where they been? Bye. You leaving? Put on a coat. Now today, Thursday, ain't shit moving. The fuck you playing with? Don't play with me with no towering inferno. You done sat up and almost harmed people. Killed, murdered, mayhem. I think a test run actually happened in December. Because I was outside at 6 p.m. setting up Christmas shit. Out the blue, there was this gust of wind that wouldn't stop for almost an hour. And then it just stopped. I said, what the fuck is this? What's going on? It just was for an hour. They done sat up and opened up so many fucking portals and energy and frequency that you could hear it talk to you. My spiritual constituents recorded the fire. You can hear the demons talking in the inferno. Because it was outside of her house. And I'm like, and she told me, I'm gonna stay. I said, bitch, get out. Your shit gone. It is done. And yes, I do talk like that to my clients because I'm real like that. Bitch, get the fuck out. It rolled up on that hill. And she's like, I don't know. I said, go out through your front door. This is your back. Get out. Your life. And them flames were speaking evil. Just like the wind was speaking evil. You can hear the demons talking. You know, I'm schizophrenic. She thought she could save her shit. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's done. And the time I heard from my other spiritual constituents, her first instinct was to run to the beach. I said, she said, I didn't know. I just need to get near water. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what was going on. And then the next day she go back to her place. It's to smithereens. The trauma, the pain, the suffering, the heartbreak, her work, gone. Just like the same energies what they put in Hawaii and everywhere else. And she said this is, and she's a black woman, this is like the Oklahoma massacre. They're trying to neutralize us in a massacre. And what I seen, what it was showed, she recorded that shit, the first one, where I was like, bitch, leave. I'm looking at a fire, I'm in a fucking hurricane. I said, when I talked to my spiritual constituents, I said, it's like as if, and she pointed something out to me, she said, it's like as if a dragon. I said, exactly. I'd agree with her. I told her, I said, it was almost like a folkloric fairy tale, like a cloud, like a man was in the sky blowing. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And that's when I told my cousin, I said, I'm an earthquake girl. I don't know about this hurricane. I said, something not right about Southern California. I'm not feeling it. Meaning the energy. I said, if I have to go back to the Bay for a minute, sit my ass out, sit it down, I'll do that. I know that. I don't know this. The United States of these Americas, not only are they trying to kill off black people, allegedly, and neutralize us, they're killing off history and anything connected to it. And their bottom line is America is not ours anymore. It belongs to third world people. And to neutralize it, they burn it down, if not flood it out, for other entities to come in to buy up the land, because they know people can't afford the insurance or intentionally. So when we go back to Luigi, how he allegedly killed the medical energy, the guy who's supposed to be a CEO, what are we missing? Who are the real enemies? You don't think it's something wrong that today is the 9th, and I guess today is Jimmy Carter's funeral, that they went and shut down shit for Jimmy Carter? I said, what the fuck has Jimmy Carter done? I said, damn, at least Reagan, he brought in crack cocaine that killed a whole families and all. And I'm just saying he, because we know it wasn't him, because his ass had Alzheimer's. But just under his energy. Oh, Jimmy Carter is a Libra. And Libra is air. And some of y'all be like, but they're in judgment. No, Libras are not judgment. They're a double air. And an Aries can tap into Cancer. So a whole energy, a whole horoscope's going on. I told you they transferred his energy. You got Trump acting like Biden now. I don't know who that man is. I told you, I don't know who that is. That's not no Trump. I said, oh God, here we go again. We got another Biden. And we're not peeping, and like I told you before, we're not peeping that Trump is fucking under house arrest. And what's it called? Mar-a-Lago? And Lago is a demon? Mar-a-Lago demon? He is like, every time you look, he's always talking from there. When? Who is this? This man up here talking about connecting into the free world in Greenland? Fucking Canada? The fuck is this man talking about? Changing the Gulf of Mexico into, what are you talking about? Gulf of Mexico is a whole spiritual work and foundation. Then I started thinking, why is he so attached to Mexicans? Oh, because you want the Indians. Oh, okay. ICE, get rid. Oh, yeah. Got you. That's a whole federal case. I'm just talking. I said, why would Trump, as a businessman, put himself in a position for a federal lawsuit discriminatory against Mexican people? Y'all not peeping technically he's being discriminatory? And you understand that Mexico connects back to melanin and to black people? That's why I talked about the palm trees. How that's connected back to us. And it gives you a new outlook. Some of you will be like, oh, those are planted palm trees. No, we don't know what's going on, right? You got Candace Owens vouching for a Nigerian. Yeah, I wish I was Nigerian. I told you I don't trust a bitch with beady eyes. I don't know what that is. I said, what Nigerians is she talking about with all of this hype and with Nigeria? Don't get it fucked up. My first boyfriend was Nigerian. Well, I thought he was my boyfriend, Talima. He had hella bitches. I don't know where I landed. So let me say this. I'm not discriminatory towards no fucking Nigerians. I just like, well, what Nigerians have I been fucking with? Because she hyping him up so much, but I'm like, well. And then you go to their get-togethers, they women looking at you up and down like this. They third world. Of course they believe in education, degrees, because they feel you somebody with that. We Americans. They cuss the fuck up. They do spare work for their women to go prostitute. And so do the women. In the UK, there's a whole prostitution ring that's under Nigerian women. And they brutal like a motherfucker. I had a Nigerian man threaten their woman, told me the way I'm talking to him, they would whoop my ass. And I shouldn't do this and this and I was like, oh. I had a Nigerian told me that I'm a whole white woman. I had Nigerian women throw me to the side for a white woman and praising over her white child. Jollof is not culture and customs. I'm not being rude, Nigerians. I'm talking, who am I fucking with then? Who am I? Are we to look at the Real Housewife of Potomac and look at the Nigerian sisters that was on there arguing with each other, then the other one pretending to be Christian, and she got all this plastic surgery, but she's supposed to be educated? I'm confused. What Nigerians is she talking about? Candace Owens. Who is she talking about? Then what the fuck is going on in Nigeria with all that drug busting, with all the Mexicans and shit there and Jamaicans? What is it, on Ogun or Alakun Way? What's happening? Talk to me. I need to understand what's going on in Africa, period. Why are you selling your females to these Chinese men that's beating their ass and treating them like slaves and going to rape and assault them? Sexually abuse them. No, we're going to speak real, speak right. What's going on, Africa? You know, because some of you niggas ran over there to be a citizen of Ghana, but I have fucking questions. I thought it was supposed to be for melanated people, for black people. Who are all them fucking white folks that look like Slavics, Middle Easterns, Ukrainians, that are fucking now citizens of Ghana? Who is that? Can we loop back to this global issue? So you go sell your women, sell your daughters to fucking Chinese men. And the Chinese men are already showing symptoms of whooping their ass. Y'all don't know about them Chinese men and Vietnamese? I'll fuck with a Cambodian before I fuck with them. A Filipino before I fuck with them. Y'all don't know about Chinese men whooping ass and being abusive and nasty and verbally and y'all don't know about them, and not even towards black women, towards their own. And we don't even talk about Thai and all that shit. How they be whipping out sticks, beating the fuck out they women. This is a global issue. There's fucking global issues going on right now. In front of our faces, and we ain't doing shit about it. When I seen that shit on fucking social media, how all them Chinese men was going up in this fucking house, molesting and raping young girls that look like junior high, and you can hear the girls screaming, and one Chinese man come walking down, zipping up his coat and shit. I knew it was something wrong when I was seeing, and I think it was in a Vietnamese country where they was having sex with a fucking primate, which is, I don't know, a monkey, whatever it was, and they had to go save the fucking primate because they was too busy. They had it chained up and his vagina open, and the men was coming having sex with it. And they said allegedly every time that a man would come, it would shake its hip like it got used to being a sex energy. What the fuck you talk about globally? What the fuck is going on here that nobody is out here talking about, that literally they're selling little boys, using them as sex slaves? I seen that shit in the Middle East. I seen that shit up in fucking Vietnam and Thailand. You letting these people, we're not talking about the shit that's going on in India with the little boys and these lady men. And all that shit is connecting into America. It's already been going on. It's just the shit was underground. Now they're making it legal. Why you need Hollywood? We're just going to bring it all in. Every time you look around, somebody's getting fucking kidnapped. Have y'all looked at how many motherfucking in each state's children, young adults are getting fucking kidnapped? And you have the audacity to have gun laws? What is it, Bogalusa, whatever, Louisiana? You got the whole mayor fucking arrested with a whole crime ring of sex, drugs, and more. They have created, let me see here, a new drug that is fucking stronger than fentanyl. Spelled Nitazenes, that is 1,000% stronger than fentanyl. How many motherfucking more drugs are you going to create up in these fucking plants? Meaning this, we got that Bogalusa, whatever that city is in Louisiana, with the mayor, but you have hella plants in fucking Louisiana. And you have scientists and biochemists creating different type of drugs up in plants and labs. We so busy looking abroad, but we don't know right here they cutting the fuck up. And we gotta sit up and tell our children, be careful, don't touch them, don't fentanyl replaced heroin. Now there's another replacement. The fuck? Why you want to keep people high? And people are so ignorant, they're going for it. Just kill civilization. Just kill our black asses. Kill our white asses. Kill us. Kill our Asian. Just kill the motherfuckers that are here to bring in something new. We didn't forgot all about. Let me look here. We didn't forgot all about Louisiana, Luigi. We didn't forget all about that shit because we have ADHD and autism, right? You got Zuckerberg in a fucking black t-shirt talking about he moving to freaking Texas, talking about so they can more govern better free speech. If you don't get that motherfucking AI Zuckerberg, and since he's moving allegedly to Texas, what you gonna do about that fucking wing that you have named after his ass over there, General Hospital in San Francisco? We don't even want to entertain the fog that's been roaming around here, making people sick, vomiting, and have the shits. We don't want to talk about that. Head flu, respiratory allergies. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about these witch doctors, do we? We don't want to talk about how Las Vegas is crashing. Meanwhile, we're going to have somebody blow up some shit there. We don't want to talk about that. Fucking Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call Zuckerberg, that fucking Menlo Park shit, that cult. Them people like fucking AI robots there. The fuck you talking about? Y'all out here talking about Canada's Prime Minister. Why would we care about him? He got to handle human rights issues. He got to handle crimes against humanity, war crimes, trafficking crimes, human trafficking, human rights issues. We got to figure out why in the fuck, what was going on with the natives that were there being sold to Indians. He got to deal with his crimes. You wonder why he's stepping down? He got to deal with crimes against humanity. All these motherfuckers. We not tripping that fucking Trump inauguration. This man then hired a whole Nigerian gospel singer to sing. The fuck you need a Nigerian gospel singer from a third world country? You better get yourself one of them damn gospel singers. You better get you Shirley Caesar. So you can really sing for America. You're not trying to sing for America. You're trying to get third world energy to bring in their frequencies. This is a time for black people to go back and start singing gospel. I respect the white people who are leaving their big churches and now going to have church in their house. Tent churches. That's what you're supposed to do, because what's going to happen is that you're going to have your Denzel Washingtons and all these motherfuckers opening up churches, and you got that shit going on in Hollywood bringing. No, the real church is going to be in the fucking house, in the tabernacle, in the temple. Bring that back. Underground church. I'll fuck with the white people on that shit. Y'all out here tripping with the Mississippi marching band who's going to perform. You want them to perform. Because they going to need to knock out the Nigerians singing gospel. The fuck you talking about here? This above y'all pay grade. I'm not about to be under no fucking men whooping my ass like that. Especially the fuck you talking about? You got Mexicans and fucking Nigeria and shit cutting on. Please stop. Then you're wondering, how in the hell does that lead back to the United States and Southern California and the shit that's popping off. Stop playing. You got fucking New York that's crazy as a motherfucker. The people done gone mad. Yes, in New York, the people have gone mad. You have an energy of a movie coming out with SZA and Keke Palmer. I said, that's a horrible match together. Again, dealing with women selling body, trying to make it, trying to hustle. The fuck is this shit? This is Hollywood, huh? Ethiopia just had their Christmas on the 7th of January. Jewish student went undercover at the Columbia SJP meeting and found multiple weapons, signs for terrorist organizations, and multiple image of Jewish images, Jewish items with blood. Biden pardoned, allegedly, the 9/11 terrorists. They're trying to say the Disneyland castle is connected to Indians. The United States Postal Service is shut down today. We too busy, black people out here pretending to be men but still having babies. Then you having babies with a man dressed like a woman, but you got real shit popping off. You a whole act. In Japan, you have women selling their time globally. In San Francisco, I was cracking up. They had something back in the day called bar sitters, and women come sit with men, run up the bill, and take their money. This was going on in Japan. They said Thai men are the most beautiful women in the world. Psychosis, huh? John M. Chu says Britney Spears will be very involved with her biopic. So you have a Chinese man producing a movie or a biopic about Britney Spears? Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry on changing information about the New Orleans terrorists. They didn't allegedly recorded his ass, and we don't know if it's AI, that he's admitting that there are multiple shooters and multiple people involved with that shit. Allegedly. Justin Trudeau, I guess the Prime Minister of Canada, has stepped down as Prime Minister of Canada. Chad Kroger will now step in. Somebody, I think I said it, somebody in my comments was asking about what do I think about black people, basically repping these people. I don't think nothing, because I think black people are tripping. I think this is a certain group of people that don't fucking know better. And they are paid government officials. Outside of that, everybody else copy what they see. I think black people have lost themselves, and they have no more culture and customs. That's his name, the Nigerian gospel singer. His name is Nathaniel Bassey. Texas invests in our future workforce. Last spring, Texas A&M University broke ground on a new state-of-the-art advanced manufacturing training facility at the Port of Brownsville. Texas will continue to build high-quality training programs for hardworking Texans. Okay, migrant raids were done in Kern County, California. Border Patrol agents were stopping anyone that looked Latino. Lawsuit. They then pulled up Barack Obama's alleged passport that shows that he was not born in America. They then sent a whole white woman to Puerto Rico to burn shit down. While you out here talking about women watches, and a woman watches as you feel me raw. Please fuck me raw while a local woman watches the action and fluffs you before. I will be hosting several guys, so please be eager to watch a bareback and be watched. This is what they wrote. She will be naked and will fluff to get you ready, but no penetration of her. She is hot. Trust me, she is attached to one of the other tops targeting Saturday afternoon, January 25th. Private home, driveway, street parking. Please be reasonably fit and hung. Hygiene critical. Please respond with cock and body pic and full stats. 57, 220 pounds, he's 6 feet. Negative all. Please don't reply unless you are going to come. No condoms, bitch. This is the shit going on in America. Well, all this other shit going on, you too busy being hypersexual. Straight visitor looking for, and remind you, this is FreakyTales. Straight visitor looking to get used like a girl. I'm a white straight guy who just into servicing and getting used by another straight DL guy. Masculine disease, free here. You be too extremely discreet. No one knows I'm into this. Email me if you're interested. 38. Real shit, American motherfuckers, including you white folks. Real shit going on in America. No government, no spirituality, and in a minute gonna have you in poverty and you looking for dick. Fuck these dicks. That's a religion. That's spell work. That's hypersexuality. They out here talk about The View star Sunny Hostin, surgeon husband accused of insurance fraud in, I guess in a sweeping, something says whatever, but now they didn't look at her ass. They out here showing different point of energies of how that fire happened in fucking LA. On a light note, I was listening to Tyler the Creator. He then turned into Miss Elliott in the Bay Area, and I want to know who in the fuck is this person pretending to be Miss Elliott? In addition to Queen Latifah. There's a song by Tyler the Creator called That Guy. That seems Bay Area. Sticky, Tyler the Creator with Glorilla, Lil Wayne, and Fox, what's her name? Foxy Red, what's her name? Red Foxy, whatever. I found another person. Let me see here if I can find it. Called Doechii. How come Tyler the Creator didn't put Doechii on? Fuck Glorilla. Fuck all them bitches. Doechii. Doechii. Anyway, I just wanted to give you an update of what I've seen here in Southern California, what my constituents were talking about with the fires, what I was in a fucking hurricane, and what the fuck we will say allegedly is going on with America. Okay? So, this is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. It is up when you want some real motherfucking work done.